Hello guys. Well, yet another video that is going to come off as depressing, negative, and all those other things people like to classify to avoid the reality of this existence, this miserable effing existence. I just want to state though one thing. There are moments in my life that I do enjoy being alive. Okay? Now, the reason why I say that is just I'm already here, so I try my best to make the best of it. But it's not always easy, and it's just quite frankly very draining. This world, and I want to also add that this video is going to be all over the place, but so prepare for that. The world is so messed up. Humans are messed up. Society is very messed up because of humans. I'm tired of social norms. I'm not saying let's not follow rules and respect everybody and all that stuff. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just tired of these little, like, I'll give you an example. People go to a fancy restaurant and they have to dress up with a tie and all that bullshit. Like, spare me are we past the 2 minute mark? I can't swear until, but spare me the nonsensical drama theater nonsense. I'm just tired of it all. I'm tired of like all kinds of different human beings. I've met good people, but as a whole, I hate humanity. I really do. Um, I just think that we're destructive overall. And humanity has become so materialistic. It's ridiculous. I've been guilty of it. I ain't no angel. But I try to get myself away from the materialistic aspect of life. Really, in this life, all we need is like shelter, food, water, a place to take a bath or whatever. But it's become like life is like a rat race that you gotta try to accumulate shit. It's that whole, oh, I want the nicest car. What for? Like, what the fuck for? Okay, I do like cool looking cars, and I like interesting things, but really we don't need any of it. We don't. The problem is with these things is that you have to work extra harder to get it. Do you know what I mean? You have to give up more of your time to get this nonsense. The world is just so unjust and like morbid and twisted, and I am not depressed. I'm just stuck in the fact that I've pretty much awakened to the nonsense and the fact that nothing really matters in the end. Like, I've talked about this in other videos, but it's really true. That's kind of why I'm decided to travel and just go wherever I want, do whatever I want. Because it's gonna end no matter what, no matter whether you like it or not, or don't think so, or that you think there's an afterlife, or you don't think there's, like, it's going to be over, at least on Earth. Even Earth is not going to be around. Nothing is going to be around. The universe will be just gone. Like, just put that in your head. Nothing matters. People who insult you, it doesn't matter. People who like trying to please everybody, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Relationships, it really doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, you spend time with them, the amount of time you're on Earth or whatever. People have kids, people have families. It's like, it really is all temporary. And I'm not upset about that. I've come to the realization that everyone else doesn't realize that, or a lot of people don't, or they just suppress it, which causes them to not even enjoy their life. I see so many people unhappy with whatever job. I'm currently, by the way, in Portugal, in Europe. And all people get, they're so stuck in a system. The world is stuck in a system, but I'm seeing it firsthand. Everywhere I go, they have to work. If other and they make very little, and then you have to use that money to get by just to make it to the next day so that you can go back to work and do it all over again. God, it's so exhausting just thinking about that. Like, I know that there's not much alternative, really. There's you have an option. You always have an option. And then people say, well, you want to be homeless? No, well, how about a system that actually is fair and even? And I ain't talking about communism or socialism. Sorry, I probably should sit up. None of those systems. None of the systems. Communism, totalitarianism, anything that's dictatorial or wants to control people, no, sorry, doesn't work. My idea would be, if I say this, everyone's gonna be like, it's communism. No. Everyone has what they need, maximum. If you want extra, if you want all the little bells and whistles, then you would have to find a way to earn it somehow, through trade, through some sort of means of, I don't know, something that someone needs, a skill or whatever. I don't know. It's just really, it's really exhausting thinking about this all the time. We live to work, Sure, there are people who enjoy their jobs. Good for them. But then they don't go out and do other things. They just stay in one little trap. I see struggling people, and I see people just. It's a dog eat dog world, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of wars. That's a whole other thing. I'm sick of the social media crap. The new generations of stupidity. Man, I could really go on and on. This would take. I'm tired of the evil that goes on in this world. What makes somebody tick? Why do people do the things that they do? I watched a really good movie the other day. I think it's called Dinner with Andrew or something. And it's very existential. And the movie is from 1981. You can find it on YouTube. I highly recommend watching it. I'll put the link. Let's see if I can find it for you guys. Had some really, really good points to it. I think it's here. For example, it's called My Dinner with Andre. Sorry, not Andrew. My Dinner with Andre, 1981. Mind-blowing. It's very reminiscent of today. One example was, do we enjoy everything, really? Like, for example, eating. Okay. When you're hungry, you're likely tasting more. You're not a routine. I'm probably gonna slaughter this, but yeah, you're eating because you're hungry, which makes you're able to savor the food. If you watch the movie, you'll see what I mean. But if you're stuck in a routine, or a habitual routine where you're just constantly going through, and then let's say you're eating just because you can afford certain things now. I'm gonna let the movie speak for itself. I'm not gonna try to explain this. I'm just gonna slaughter it. I don't know. People are just so stuck in a trance It's crazy. All people want to do is buy, 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 buy. Sometimes I find myself getting pulled back into that a little bit. I'll give an example. I like cameras, okay? You know, I like to film. I have another YouTube channel and I travel. This channel obviously is my like existential thinkers channel, which is really therapeutic. But I like cameras. You know, I think I have three different ones. And I just remember I started getting that feeling of FOMO, fear of missing out. I don't get it I don't get it really that often. I'm able to control a lot of these stupid urges. And I'm thinking, oh, look at that new camera. I think I should sell my old camera and then use the money to buy the new camera and pay the difference or whatever. And I'm just like, you, how I get it? I question myself. I'm like, did you need that camera? Aren't you happy with? Are the cameras that you have doing the job that you need them for? And all the boxes are checked. Yes, 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 yes. I don't need another camera. I don't need to spend the money. I don't need any. I don't. And it passes. Like I could have bought the camera when I was back in Canada. I'm not going to spend the money. It's stupid. I mean, on the other hand, one could say use the money, spend it. I often think this way. It's like, you know, in certain circumstances, I'm going to die anyway. Spend the money. But then like rational thinking is like, well, how long are you going to live? You might need. It's just a round and round and stupid game that we play on this earth. You know, I just, no one knows the answer to anything. You know, there's so many mysteries. Life is a goddamn mystery. It just makes you really like, I don't know, frustrated. But I was just watching that movie. It was a mind blown moment. I don't know. Like, what is this life? What the hell is the point? What created us? Why are we here? What, like, it's just, I did a video talking about how nothing gets answered. In the end, really nothing matters. It really doesn't. All you have is, like, right this moment, as I'm recording this video, obviously you're going to be watching it after, but right this moment, this is the only moment I have. Everything that has passed behind me in my life, or time past, is gone for good. Gone. Who knows where? Maybe there's alternate dimensions. Maybe there's alternate realities. Maybe there's multiverses. Who knows? Anything's possible, but who knows? No one knows for sure. But as far as we know, in this reality, in this universe, on this what we call planet, you know, this that sustains life. Right now, literally, this moment is all I have. You know, tomorrow may not come for me. Who knows? Next week. We don't know when our existence ends. But we're all running around, work, trying to, you know, just to survive. There's got to be more than this. Like, I think of life as like, okay, we're here, sure. But do you really want to spend it all the time working? Even people who have good jobs, it's like all that time gone for what? For this, for money that we put value to, that we use to trade things, or whatever, buy things I should say, because we trade the money for which is our time. The money is the time, symbolized as time, for things, or commodities, or food, or whatever, or for an apartment that you're gonna waste more time in just to store your shit. I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm the only one that thinks this way. I really don't know anymore. I try to distract myself just by doing these videos, by traveling, by, you know, I don't know. It's not that I'm lost, it's just that I just feel like nothing really matters, you know. Then an awkward silence. It's just, I could talk about everything all day long, you know. I don't know. Think about it. Like, when you really think about it, I think it's because I stopped doing the 9 to 5 job, so it gave me a lot more time to to think about like what life is, where are we, what are we here, why is everything created, what to what end, for what purpose, you know. It's just there's so many things. Why are people so rude? Why are people evil? The world is fucked. The world is fucked. I do like to travel, but it's just the more I travel around, the more that I see the world is fucked. What do you guys think? I know I rambled on for quite a bit, but it's just bullshit after bullshit. And then guess what? We all die. You see people get stressed out, they're gonna die. What's the point? People get upset for little things. What for? You're gonna die. All the shit that we own, it will be left here when we're gone. So someone else will be using your shit, which really isn't your shit. Sometimes I get the urge to just give away everything that I own, minus certain little things that I, you know, if so long as I keep. But even that doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Ugh. And I know some people are gonna say, well, use it matters for the time you're here. Okay, but in the end, what does it matter? Like, a lot of people want to leave a legacy behind. It doesn't matter. Legacy doesn't matter. You get people who are famous, rich, none of that shit matters because they're gonna die too. Yeah, okay, their kids or whoever's gonna inherit shit, that they die. It's like everything that's happened in human history doesn't matter. Racism is stupid. Wars are stupid. Anything evil is stupid. So many evil people in the history of humanity. And I mean, if there's no heaven and hell, that means they basically got away with all that shit. What's their punishment? Imagine if there's no heaven or hell, there's no God, any of that stuff. So you can be evil and you get away with that shit. I mean, you die and then what happens? Like, oh my God. It's just a loop. Why do we have emotions? You know, why are we emotional? Why does this happen? And then there's like, well, science says that oxygen in the brain and the, like, who the fuck cares? I know I'm sounding like a miserable asshole, but sometimes it's just, when you think about things, nothing matters. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna start, you know, being a bad person or anything like that. No one's perfect. But it's just so, like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I've rambled on talking about, I try to articulate in words. The only thing I can say is, like, you just have to have fun. Because accumulating wealth, accumulating commodities, accumulating shit, you really don't need, I mean, it's just, it doesn't matter. I see like so many homeless, miserable people, people starving, and then there's like terrible things like, you know, pedophiles, murderers, rapists, all those evil pieces of crap. Why do they exist if there's no heaven, hell, and all that stuff? I don't know. I got no answers for you guys. I got no answers for myself, so it's just all very frustrating and confusing. And we're all stuck in this like loop of like, oh, we're alive, we gotta work, oh, we gotta go to school, or we gotta, oh my god. So many people care what other people think of them, living in the invisible prison, which I love to talk about. Try to impress others that could care less or that you don't like. There's so many other things I could talk about that just doesn't make sense. Why humans kill other species? Why do humans kill each other? Why do we get jealous? Why do, like, it's just all so stupid. This existence is so stupid. I would only consider the fact that living and everything is great if everyone was well, if everyone was having a good life, if there was no suffering, which there's way more suffering than happiness. I see people like out there who have nothing and they're just happy, and it's like, okay, you don't, obviously you don't need to be you don't need to have stuff to be happy, but what the hell is there to be happy about, really? I don't know how people can go on day after day knowing all the shit that's happening in the world and still able to be happy. That's, to me, is like derangement, some sort of derangement. I don't know. I do try to be happy. I try not to get into these, you know, into these little black holes, you know, where you're just like, and it's not depression. I'm not depressed. I'm just kind of sick of it all. Nothing makes sense to me. That's what I would say. Nothing makes sense to me. And then somebody will say, "Well, it's not supposed to make sense." No, what? Like, shut up. You can still say it. I don't mind. I don't censor people's comments. I just, so long as it's not like evil name calling or something. But criticism is welcome on this channel. You can rebut everything that I've said. Most people are gonna definitely say, "Well, life is great. Life is amazing." Like, for who? For you? What about all the other people? What about the people starving in Africa? What about the wars? What about people who are being exploited? What about people who are so sick, especially after taking the forced medical intervention a few years ago? No one wants to talk about that, or if they talk about it, they're censored. That's another thing, censorship. Humans seem to want to control other humans all the time, and it's just like, fuck off. Yeah, so many people are very ill these days. Not just mentally, not just physically, but both. It's the food that's being poisoned, it's the mental illness, you know, from the stress, from the lockdowns that happened a few years ago. It's kind of like PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. It's the same thing. A lot of people still have that. So much nonsense in the world, so much craziness. So I don't have anything else to say. I just needed to get this off my chest. There's probably something I've forgot to mention, but so much nonsense. This life is crazy. So I'm gonna end it there. Leave a comment, hit the like if you liked it. Yeah. Bye for now.